Greetings, my name is Tim Johnson. This is Recovery, Strength, Hope and Courage. The last video I made was about Christmas and about getting through Christmas and how grateful and thankful I was to be going back to England this year to spend a fantastic Christmas with those who love me and those I love. And the fact that I would be sober and present for the presents, I like to call it, to be present for the presents. For the first time for many, many years was last year, and this year is going to be even better. And it got me thinking, because two of the things that have kept me sober or helped keep me sober and strengthened my recovery, two of the very important things have been obviously gratitude and thankfulness on a daily basis or minute basis sometimes, and also sort of giving service, giving something back to people, whether it be giving advice or online or in groups I go to or by these videos or whatever. But one thing I also do every week is I go and help a charity out called the Angels of the Night charity in Malaga, which is a homelessness charity. And I, perhaps like many of you, but certainly me, even in addiction, would be walking through, particularly in the streets of Birmingham and London. Birmingham was my hometown at the time, and homelessness is one of the greatest scandals of this century, of any century really. For anyone to be in a position of homelessness in this day and age is a disgrace really, that there's more help out there for them. But I was one of the ones that looked sort of down on these people, if you like, and also would judge them very quickly. And one of the things I've learnt not to do in recovery is judge, but I would judge them. I certainly wouldn't communicate with them, but I would look down on them and box them in the same group. Even though I was an addict, I sort of looked at myself as someone who was much better than them at all. And as I explain in a minute, addiction plays, it's not a massive part in homelessness sometimes. There's lots of other things that cause that take effect and cause homelessness. But it's certainly working with this charity every week has opened my eyes, because it's a massive problem here in Spain, as it is all over the world. I know in America, probably nearly every country, there's an issue. There are issues with it, and certainly in Britain. But in Malaga, here in Spain, Malaga's a very sort of wealthy city, and it's it's awful. The amount of homelessness and poverty here is disgraceful. And the thing is, as I've got more confidence, because I go and cook and help out these people and take stuff and give out blankets and do all sorts of stuff. But as I've got more confident with it, I'm communicating and starting to talk to people and pass on listen to what their stories are, and perhaps pass on some of my experiences to them. And if there's any way I can help them, I help them. So really, the message I want to get across from this video, I'm not preaching at all. I've talked to people in this situation, some Spanish obviously, but a lot of English people over here, and a lot of people. And I think to myself, there, but for the grace of God go I, because if it wasn't for the love and support of my family and getting out of this mess and all the rest of it, and the good fortune I've had, I would be there with them. I would be on those streets suffering over Christmas. And I talked to many people. I was talking to a man the other day, and he was in a good job over here. He's in his 40s, a British man. He's a really good job over here, and the job fell through, and then his relationship broke down. There was money tied up together, and he's ended up. And he's been homeless for the last 6 months. He's got no money to get back. He got beaten up and someone stole his passport. And this is a story you hear right across, the way that people are treated and judged. And now he is, he's a dependent on alcohol. And a lot of the time with homelessness, alcohol and drugs are a symptom of that homelessness, because it's a way of coping with it. a way of coping with the freezing cold, a way of coping. He tells me that people, regularly they get beaten up by drunken people that are coming out. And you hear this a lot in England, in the cities in England, Birmingham, London, drunken people coming out of clubs and beating them up. He told me that one night he was in his sleeping bag and someone pissed on him. And this is humanity. What is going wrong here? And, as I say, I would always walk past these people. And I've heard loads and loads of stories while I've been doing this about that people have fallen into this, relationship breakdowns, mental health issues, losing jobs, just bad fortune. And yes, there are those people who have addicted to alcohol and drugs who fall homeless, become homeless because of that. But there just isn't the help for them out there. They rely on charities like the Angels of the Night charity that totally relies on donations and people donating food and blankets and medical equipment and their time and energy. Like in England, Shelter and all those charities, Hope and all those charities which are great people that go around and help. And really, just the message I wanted to get across from this video, and it's just a short one, is that, and this is not preaching by it, because I've just, I was as bad as anyone. Trust me. I just think at Christmas, because I'm going back on the 20th of December. I go back to England, into Birmingham. Well, I'm in London for a few days first. I'll be on the streets of London, and then I'm staying Birmingham for a few days after that. And I'm not going to be walking past these people anymore. I'm going to be, and I'm not talking about how necessarily giving them money. Just give them a couple of minutes of your time, have a little chat with them, find out, how they are, and wish them a happy Christmas. And also, if you've got time, and you've got some money in your pocket, buy them a cup of coffee. If you're worried about money going elsewhere, buy them a cup of coffee. Or give them, take some clothes out with you in a bag if you know you're going through, and give them some warm, but just get them something to eat and drink. Get it yourself if you don't trust them with the money, but just talk to them, give them the time of day, because I'm going to be doing it from now on. It's something that it's one of my goals, and it's a challenge. Yes, it's a challenge, because maybe you're fearful of some of these people, but they're human beings just like you. And if you think about your circumstances, particularly in addiction, particularly all of us, in addiction, how close we are to losing everything, how close we are to losing our homes and our families, and those that love us abandoning us, eventually giving up because they can't help us anymore. And how close are we to, job loss? And because you can't, once you're on the streets, once that one transition's made and you're on the streets, you can't claim dole, you can't claim unemployment benefit or dole, because you're of no fixed abode. So you're stuffed. You can't, it's very difficult to get medical attention. So begging and stealing sometimes is the only way they can get any money to live. And if it wasn't for the kindness of these charities that feed them and give them warm sleeping bags, clothes, tents, whatever it may be, then they'd probably die. And many people do die on the streets. I mean, the mortality rate, the average age of someone dying on the streets in Britain is 45 years old. 45 for a homeless person in Britain, 45 years old in this day and age. It's like going back into Dickensian times. Something has to be done about it. But until then, just give them a time, give them a nod, give them a smile, buy them a cup of coffee, say hello, acknowledge them. Don't just walk past and ignore them, because just think that for the grace of God, be thankful and grateful it's not you, because it could well be. It could have been me very, very easily. So close, and I thank God every day. So please, and so have a great Christmas, and don't forget, be present for the presents. Be there for your family, be there for those that love you, enjoy the experience, enjoy the moment. And it doesn't take drugs or alcohol to do that. It takes just love, accepting each other, and just being kind, nice, loving and considerate to everybody around you, and enjoying Christmas for what it is, for what it's meant to be. Okay, that's it. Okay, thanks for listening. Carpe diem, seize the day. Much love to you. Thank you. Bye-bye.